Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop. I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Tonight, we're going to be breaking down last night's three-game NBA slate. We're going to be going with our regular formatting of the show. Of course, I did not issue out a core four as I do not believe that it is necessary to do that because I'm the type of guy. I like to let my analysis reflect my play, and I want my play to reflect my analysis. I'm not going to tell you to go out and do some things that I'm not doing. I just like to keep that honesty and that transparency between us so that you can trust me. First things first, I want to be trusted. I want to be a trusted member of the DFS community, and I feel I have laid that groundwork over the last year to develop that trust with you. So on slates 5 games or less, I do not run out a core four myself. I go with a stack type thing. Either I'm rostering 3, 4, sometimes 5 guys from the same team or from the same game. That is the way I do it on these shorter slates. So I did not issue out a core four, but I'm going to be breaking down the 3 game slate from last night, and it was kind of weird because the question of the day was, do I fade hard? Do I, you know? And a lot of us, I think, got hung up in that, including me. I think I got hung up too much in do I fade hard? But the question of the day should have been, do I play Lillard? That should have been the question today. Do I play Lillard? Because he was in such a great spot, coming off a loss to this team, had not been playing particularly well, so we knew the ownership was going to be low on him. There's a ton of things were working in his favor and in our favor as daily fantasy sports players, especially when it came to that Dallas and Portland game. But we're going to get into that as we jump into the recap. But first thing we're going to do, since I didn't shoot out a core four, we're going to jump right into the feature for players of the night. These are the four most talked about, tweeted about guys in the DFS Sweatshop on the desktop's chat, as well as on Twitter and in the DFS Sweatshop VIPs. First things first, we're going to talk about the Who Dat scoring all them points over there player tonight. This is a guy that earlier in the season, this dude was approaching 6K salary. Like he had been starting in place of, I believe, Michael Kidd Gilchrist. He had been balling out, had a couple double doubles in a row, and a lot of guys are on him. Well, since then he got injured, kind of took a back seat to Marco Bellinelli when he did come back, and he never really was able to, produce the way he did when he was went on that small run. And for that reason, the price was very low on him. Had it not been such a small slate, I would have never even attempted to roster this guy. But at 3.1K, Jeremy Lamb goes out and brings you back 28.75 DraftKings points. This guy was only 6% owned in some of the single entry GPPs that I was involved in today. Very nice game. Who Dat scoring all them points over their player tonight goes to Jeremy Lamb. Really nice game from him. The next player we're going to talk about is a guy I just mentioned. We're talking about Dame Lillard, man. How did I miss that? How the fuck did I miss that play? We got so swept into the Harden and the Kimba at home, and this game, the Charlotte game's gonna be a blowout. We got so swept into every other game, but the late night Hammer game, and that's where Dame Lillard really went out and had an awesome performance. 8.6K was his salary. 49.75 DraftKings points was what he scored, and this guy was only 13% owned across most sites. Man, this is a really, really decent showing we saw from Dame Lillard, and a really, really, really big bounce back game for him as well. The next guy I want to talk about is the Heat Check player tonight. This guy could have been how did I miss that play? Because I didn't have him anywhere. He was in a write-up that we do daily when it comes to our player pool and spreadsheets, but I played so lightly today. I just did not like this type of 3 game slate. I just didn't like it. So I ended up playing less than 5% of my bankroll, way lower than my normal buy-in. I usually stick right around 10%, sometimes 15%. But this was not a good slate for me. So I really didn't have much invested in it, which is good because my lineups tanked. I had some Charlotte stacks that were shit. I had Dallas stacks that were shit. It was just a bad night for me all around. But this guy, man, the Heat Check player tonight, is going to go to Nikolai Vucevic at 6.8K, 38% owned in most GPPs. The dude went out and scored 52.75 DraftKings points, and he was second among all DraftKings score. Excellent game we saw from Nikolai Vucevic, and that's why Vuce tonight, salute to you, because you are tonight's Heat Check player of the night. Now we must talk about that one motherfucker, and this is, this is some shit that I feel stupid even having to say this because this dude is a fucking bum. He's not good. He's not a good player. He's not a good player. This dude is just not a good player. And we got sucked into, him getting all of these minutes earlier in the season, maybe just a few weeks ago, a short time ago. We saw injuries to J.J. Barea. We saw injuries to Devin Harris. We saw all of the guys that were quality guys. Darren Williams injury. All of the quality guys in this backcourt. For us to go out and pay, almost $6K for this horrible player. This dude just sucks. This dude sucks. His mom can play. His dad can play. His brother can play. But you, Lil bruh, you's a motherfucking snowflake with your old snowflake ass. How the fuck you gonna go out and steal 5.9K from us? 15% ownership. So you were definitely in position to separate us in some of these tournaments. 8.5 DraftKings points. Man, you a motherfucking snowflake with your snowflake ass, and I ain't gonna roster your ass again, period. I'm done. I am fucking done with Seth Curry. I'm done with lowbrow. There's only one Curry that is ever gonna make it into any of my rosters on DraftKings or FanDuel, and it will not be you, you sorry snowflake son of a bitch. I will never roster you again. As a matter of fact, you're fucking dead to me. You're fucking dead. That's right, I said it. Lowbrow, you're dead. I ain't gonna roster your ass again. And that's just that. Let's move on with the rest of the motherfucking show. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna quickly recap last night's games, just so that we can take a look at where we've been, so we know where we've going. A couple of these teams we're gonna talk about are gonna be playing tomorrow, so that is the back-to-back that we may have or may not have some concerns about. But we're gonna start in Charlotte at the Beehive, where the Brooklyn Nets came to town, and it was a much closer game than the point spread led on. I believe it was a 10.5 point total in favor of the Charlotte Hornets, but the Brooklyn Nets did make this a game. We're going to start with Bojan Bogdanovic. 30 minutes for him. He led the team in minutes. He had 22 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, while shooting 8 for 15 from the field, 3 for 8 from behind the arc. Really nice game we saw from him. Didn't see much from Rondae Hollis-Jefferson. He played 21 minutes, had 5 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 4 blocks. So that was not a horrible showing there. Brook Lopez scored 20 points, pulled down 5 boards, had 1 assist and 4 blocks in his 28 minutes. And we saw a decent game from Trevor Booker off of the bench. I liked him a lot going in. In 23 minutes, he had 10 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, while shooting 4 for 9 from the field and 0 for 2 from behind the arc. He had 5 for 11 from the field. Joe Harris had a really decent game at his price point. 26 minutes for him. He had 12 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, while shooting 4 for 9 from the field and 3 for 7 from behind the arc. Isaiah Whitehead saw some quality minutes off of the bench. In 25 minutes, he had 11 points, 1 board, 7 assists, and 1 steal. Horrible game from Sean Kilpatrick. Dude played 18 minutes. He had 3 points and 2 assists. That was it. Horrible game from Sean Kilpatrick. Jason Hamilton, in his 21 minutes, had 9 and 7 with 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block, while shooting 50% from the field. On the Charlotte Hornets side, Kimber, what the fuck happened, man? This is crazy. I mean, super plus matchup at the Beehive, where he normally plays well. Stu goes out. He does score 17 points, but he gets 3 rebounds, 5 assists, shot 20% from the field, 4 for 20, 1 for 4 from behind the arc. Just a horrible game, horrible shooting game we saw from Kemba Walker, and that really sucked because he was in a really good position, was very highly owned, could have really separated us from the rest of the from half of the field, but just not a great game there at all from him. Frank Kaminsky, nice game in 33 minutes. He had 12 points, 11 boards, 5 assists, and 1 steal, and I really think Frank Kaminsky can be a really solid player in this league. He shot 4 for 17 from the field, so if the guy has a really good shooting percentage, a better shooting percentage, he has a fucking monster game. He also hit 2 of 7 3-point shots. Marvin Williams in 32 minutes had 14 and 9 to go with 2 blocks while shooting 54% from the field. Pretty good game there. MKG in 27 minutes had 14 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 block while shooting 58% from the field. And Jeremy Lamb, the who that scored all them points over there player tonight, chipped in 16 in his 19 minutes. He also had 7 rebounds, 1 steal, and 1 block while shooting 6 of 11 from the field and 1 for 2 from behind the arc. Marco Bellinelli in 26 minutes had 17 points, 3 rebounds, also had a block while shooting 44% from the field, hit 1 of 3 3-point shots. Really nice game there for him. The next game I'm going to talk about is going to be the Houston Rockets at home against the Orlando Magic. This game was inevitably a blowout, but we saw some really nice scoring on the Orlando side. That's where the Heat check player tonight came from. We're talking about Nikolai Vucevic. He pulled down 19 boards, had 14 points, 4 assists, and 3 steals. Pretty good game there. Also blocked the shot, shooting 7 of 12. That's 58% from the field. Evan Fournier had 21 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, 7 for 16 from the field. Really nice game there from him. Elfrid Payton had 10 and 2 to go with 8 assists and 2 steals. Not a great game there. And Serge Ibaka, man, in 40 minutes, he led the team. He had 28 points, 8 boards, and 1 block. Aaron Gordon started off pretty good in this game. He played 19 minutes, went down with an injury. He had 7 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists in his 19 minutes. Of course, DJ Augustin, pretty nice showing from him at that price point. In 23 minutes, he had 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists to go with while shooting 1 for 5 from the field. Not a great game there for him. On the Houston Rockets side, nice game from Trevor Ariza. 36 minutes, he led the team. He had 20 points, 7 boards, 4 assists, and 2 steals by shooting 46% from the field, and he hit 4 of 9 3-point shots. Ryan Anderson continues his cold streak. In 27 minutes, he has 6 and 4 to go with 2 assists and 1 steal. Not a good game there from him. Clint Capella damn near doubled on him. He has 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 1 steal to go with a block. Pretty good game there from him. Pat Beverly, nice game. 14 points, 6 boards, 7 assists, 1 steal in his 28 minutes. And James Harden, 25 points, 6 rebounds, and 13 assists to go with 3 steals. James Harden ended up leading the night in scoring, so it really didn't hurt you if you had him. Didn't help you too much if you did. It was like a free square, a free 50-point square that you just had to piece together the other shit around him, man. Rostering James Harden today was like a fucking Jenga or Tetris. Like, you had to fit and piece, and it was very crazy. That's why I did not like this slate very much. Nene, in 17 minutes, had 13 and 3 with 1 steal. Pretty decent game at his price point. And Eric Gordon, off of the bench, played 30 minutes. He had 18, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 block while shooting 50% from the field. He had 4 of 8 3-point shots. And Sam Dekker, in 17 minutes, had 10 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. Pretty decent game for him at that very low price point. Next game we're going to talk about, and the last game on the slate, was a very close game. The Portland Trailblazers went to Dallas to take on the Mavericks. We saw a nice game for Mason Plumlee, man. 12 points, 15 rebounds, and 2 assists to go with 1 steal. Decent game there. He only took 4 shots. If he shoots more, gets more active offensively around the basket, he has a monster game. CJ McCollum chipped in 32 points, had 2 rebounds, and 3 assists to go with 1 steal, while shooting 61% from the field, hitting 2 of 4 3-point shots. And Dame Lillard had a really nice game. 29 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals, while shooting 54% from the field, and 5 for 9 from behind the arc. Al-Farouq Aminu in 28 minutes doubled in 12. He had 12 points, 11 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 block while shooting 40% from the field. He also hit 2 of 5 3-point shots. Pretty good game there. So that was kind of the squad to stack. That was the squad to stack. We all missed the boat on that stack. The Dallas side, Wesley Matthews, man, in a game against the former team, had 23 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1 steal while shooting 52% from the field. This was a perfect game stack. Harrison Barnes, 37 minutes for him. He had 26 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals while shooting 52% from the field. And Dirk Nowitzki chipped in 25 points in 30 minutes. He also had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks while shooting 43% from the field, and he hit 4 of 7 3-point shots. Now, this is where shit gets fucking ugly, because we see 27 minutes from Seth Curry, and we see 12 minutes from Yogi Ferrell, and both of them combined for 16 points. Curry getting 4 of them, didn't rebound the ball, had 3 assists, didn't do much else, took 1 fucking shot. Seth Curry took 1 shot and made it. He shot 100%. 1 shot. How the fuck can we win tournaments if you're shooting 1 damn shot? Fucking bum. Yogi Ferrell, 34 minutes for him. He had 12 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal, shooting 44% from the field. Not a good game there from him. Devin Harris, in 26 minutes, had 12 and 7 to go with 2 assists and 1 steal. And Salah Mejri played 15 minutes. He had 6 and 5 to go with 3 blocks. Not a great game there from him. Now that we've recapped last night's games, let's go ahead and jump into a very quick player pricing preview as we rock with tomorrow's monster 12-game slate. There's a lot of games tomorrow, a lot of stuff to go over. It's going to take a lot of research and really building with each other in the sweatshop tomorrow. Of course, on a slate this large, I am going to be in the midday mix tomorrow. I can guarantee you that. We're going to shoot for around 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, where we can jump in the midday mix and really see what we can come up with. Now, first thing I'm going to do is outline the slate for you a little bit. Now, we got 12 games starting at 7 o'clock. A lot of games there. We've got a 8 o'clock turbo. Now, this is a 5-game turbo slate. You know what I'm going to say to you next. Make some lineups in there. Throw them bitches in the main. Everybody's going to be so spread out trying to roster in different spots in this 12-game slates and get pieces of so many different games that if you condense your exposure to this 5-game turbo slate, make a lineup there and also enter it in the main slate, I guarantee you can see a really nice return on your investment. Also, we've got a 10-game slate, 7 p.m. You can do that too. Make one here, drop it into 10 games. We've got a 3-game turbo as well as a 2-game late. So we've got a lot of options for you tonight. If you are overwhelmed by the 12-game or the 10-game slate, you can just play here. It'll be all good. So we've got some really juicy slates and matchups coming up for you tomorrow. Let's go ahead and open this up. And we're going to jump right in to our player pricing. And we do this so that we can go ahead and get a read on who we just don't like, who we're going to have, in a lot of spots. Just so we can get like an overall player pool in our head that we want. And the funny thing about this slate is something that I already don't like about this slate is there's no misdirection plays on this slate. And by misdirection, I mean there's no Westbrook, there's no Harden, no guy that just, is like that shiny new car that you just gotta spend up and buy, and which will fuck you up in other spots. Like pretty much everybody on the slate is pretty much priced fairly. There's no unfairly priced guy of all of the higher top dollar guys. All of these guys, I would say, are fairly priced. And whenever that happens, it lowers the variance. It really lineups are going to be so tough tomorrow. It's going to be a tough slate to cash in. It's going to be a tough slate to cash in. That's just my estimation. Just because we don't have 12% of the field or 15% of the field that's going to roster Russell Westbrook and they're going to be fucking dead, or James Harden, they're going to be fucking dead because he's not going to make value. These are all guys that can really make value. Now, will they all? Probably not. But it's just a little harder to put our finger on who we can say, I don't want this guy. He's not making value. So it's going to be a tough slate tomorrow, but that's what I am here for. That's what the DFS Sweatshop is here for. We are here to make sure that you can weather through these stormy times, things like this. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We know that DeMarcus Cousins is being a big baby, and he went after an official in the game, caught the technical foul, so he is not going to be playing tomorrow. That automatically opens up 30% ownership to Willie Cauley-Stein and people like Costa Koufos, so we're going to have to deal with that shit tomorrow too. So let's go ahead and jump into it, man. John Wall, 10.7K. The price is up on him. I love him tomorrow. I do. The main thing I like about this game is that it's not in Washington. If this game is in Washington, I would not like John Wall as much. But the fact that the game is in Brooklyn, and Brooklyn just coming from Charlotte, going back home, defending their home court, the guys they've been playing very well. They played very well against the Charlotte Hornets. I think that we see a nice game here. Don't sleep on this game. Do not sleep on this game. I haven't even looked at the point totals yet, and I don't give a fuck what they are. I do not think that Washington just blows the doors off of Brooklyn Nets, and I think we're going to see a full allotment of minutes of John Wall. I like him already. LeBron James, of course, he is definitely in play at 10.6. The price is only up 100 on him after you had that 75.75 DraftKings game last time out, so I think we can look to LeBron James tomorrow. Giannis Antetokounmpo is probably the only one of these guys in this price point that I'm not so gung-ho about rostering. I really don't feel, like we can get that 70-point game from Giannis tomorrow going against the Miami Heat. But he's a guy that plays very well at home. So we've got to give that some further consideration as we continue to look through the slate. Isaiah Thomas is priced up at 10.1. Can he get you 50 real quick against Sacramento? Probably. The game is in Sacramento, so that would they get the home usage bump. No boogie, so there's gonna be nobody to distract them and do all that crazy shit. And a lot of times, you take a big distracting star off of a team, and the guys get together and they play fucking ball. So that's definitely a narrative that I'm going to be in touch with on tomorrow's slate. Steph Curry at 10K. The price is so far up on him right now. I just don't think that I'm going to be taking a look at him tomorrow. Not really. Anthony Davis, any other team, you know, I kind of would like Anthony Davis under 10K. But the fact that he's playing against the Utah Jazz, man, kind of makes me not want to give him a look. Karl Anthony Towns against Toronto, I love that. 9.8K is a very fair price point for him. Kevin Durant at 9.7 is a play that I do like tomorrow. Blake Griffin at 9.3, that price is up on him. But if anybody can bend over and give it up to Blake Griffin, it'll be the New York Knicks bigs. So I think he's definitely in play. Jimmy Butler, if he does play, I still don't want him. The bruise heel thing, what he did last time out, I'm not fucking with Jimmy Butler tomorrow. Nikola Jokic at 8.7. That is a low 8.7 for Jokic. That's damn near a must play to me. Just looking at it first glance, Jokic 8.7. You gotta play him here. You gotta play him because he's not gonna be guarding the guy that all of the offense flows through. And the main concern you have, or the only concern you have with Nikola Jokic is that if he's going to be forced into some kind of foul trouble. And it's not like Dwight Howard is some, fancy pants, low post guru who you can just throw it down to and he has an array of moves and shakes that will, draw fouls. And it's not like that. The dude gets the ball, goes up and tries to score. So as long as, Jokic plays knowing that they're going to try to get him in foul trouble and maybe he can give it up somewhat to Dwight Howard, or even just gas him running up and down the court. I definitely can see Nikola Jokic having a nice game tomorrow. This is the ninth ranked DVP against the center position. I don't care about that. Throw that shit out the window. I like Jokic tomorrow. Andre Drummond, 8.6. The price is still up on him a little bit, but they're at home against the LA Lakers. I think he's definitely a solid play. Kevin Love is a player that I really like at 8.5 against the Indiana Pacers. I think you can fire him up with confidence. Kawhi Leonard, he's questionable, but the coach is just fucking with us last time because he plays daily fantasy sports too. So he sat Kawhi Leonard, but I think he does play tomorrow. If he does play, I don't have any interest in him unless Joel Embiid is playing. Kyle Lowry at 8.2 is definitely a play for me. The price is down on him. There's nobody to defend him on the Minnesota Timberwolves side. I like him. DeMar DeRozan at 8.1 is not a play that I'm very interested in. Chris Paul is out. Joel Embiid is questionable. We got to find about that later on. If he does play, I see why you might like him, but I'm not going to roster him at all with that minutes limit. Jrue Holiday at 8K, very slow pace, fourth ranked DVP against the point guard position. He went up 100 after having that monster game. I think a lot of people are going to look at the Utah and say, nah, we're not going to roster him. But I think he does deserve consideration. I probably won't have him very much, though. Hassan Whiteside at 7.9 is definitely in play for me against the Milwaukee Bucks. I like him there. Dwayne Wade at 7.8. He is in play. I like him a lot. Draymond Green at 7.8 is in play for me against Chicago. Paul George, no. Kyrie Irving at 7.7. Kyrie Irving under 8K against Jeff Teague. Give me that. I already see a big three stack. Just saying. Marc Gasol, 7.6. The price is down on him. I like that matchup there. Gordon Hayward is a play that I really like at 7.6. I like that automatically. Goran Dragic at 7.5 is a play that I'm interested in, but I see at the ninth ranked DVP against the point guard position, I'm not so sure I'm going to be too heavily invested in Goran Dragic tomorrow. Mike Conley is a play I like at 7.5. Remember what just happened to the Phoenix Suns, man. Holiday torched them. And the Phoenix Suns give it up to the point guards. If Mike Conley destroys them again, that's a sweatshop law. Phoenix gives it up to the point guard position. That's going to be a sweatshop law. Eric Bledsoe at 7.5 at the Grindhouse. Pace down matchup. I don't like him very much tomorrow. Paul Millsap 7.4 is not a play I'm very interested in. The LA Clippers 7.3. Carmelo Anthony. Maybe he's auditioning for a trade over there. I think he balls out. I like him tomorrow. Al Horford at 7.2 is in play. If you think this game is going to stay close, I think you can look to him. Andrew Wiggins at 7.1. There's not much else there to defend him. We don't have Zach LaVine to hold him back, sharing minutes on the wing. I think we can look to Andrew Wiggins tomorrow. I like him. Brad Beal, again, another solid play, 7.1. The price is only up on him 300. We can definitely look to him. Jeff Teague going up against Kyrie Irving defense. Give me some of that. LaMarcus Aldridge at 7.1. the 26th ranked DVP against the power forward position. But it's just so weird what happens with the Philadelphia 76ers. And I like Aldridge if Embiid doesn't play. If Embiid plays, I don't like Aldridge. If Embiid does play, I do. I don't like Aldridge at all. DeAndre Jordan at 7K is not a play that I'm interested in. Jabari Parker against the second-ranked DVP against the power forward position. Jabari Parker plays very well at home. People are going to see that and not want to play him. I think at 6.9K, we can give him a look tomorrow if we like Giannis. Brook Lopez at 6.9 is not a play that I'm interested in. Rudy Gobert, of course, he's in play for me at 6.9. We know that the New Orleans Pelicans give it up to the center spot. Dwight Howard is in a plus matchup at 6.8. Him being so cheap, under 7K, I think we can definitely give him a look. Kristaps at 6.8. I kind of like him tomorrow. Ricky Rubio is in play for me. Wilson Chandler is most certainly in play for me at 6.6. I like that. Klay Thompson is questionable. We know that he's had some difficulties, had a death in the family. His birthday is tomorrow. Maybe that's a narrative that I really don't want to use because, I mean, tragedy in somebody's life sucks. But Brett Favre's dad died, and he went out threw for like 800 yards and 12 touchdowns in one game. So maybe Klay, looks back and really balls out for his family, and maybe he does that tomorrow at 6.6K on his birthday. I kind of like him. Markieff Morris isn't play for me at 6.6. Dion Waiters is questionable. If he plays, I still don't like him. Devin Booker is in a really nice matchup at 6.5 against Tony Allen. I don't like him there either. Jay Crowder is a play that I love tomorrow at 6.4. I think that's a really fair price for a guy that's going to see some quality minutes and work against that Sacramento front court. Otto Porter is a play that I like at 3.6. I think Washington is very stackable in this game. I even like Martin Gortat at 6.3. These Euros, man, this year they're playing pretty good. I like him. D'Angelo Russell, 6.2. The price is down from 7K. He gets Reggie Jackson defense. I'm not too big on that. I don't like him tomorrow. Miles Turner is a no for me at 6.2. The Cleveland Cavaliers really do restrict the center spot. I do not like Miles Turner tomorrow. George Hill, he's in play at 6.1. I think we can look to him. He only went up 300 after having that big 44-point game. I like him. Dennis Schroeder at 6K is a play that I'm definitely interested in. I like him. Marcus Morris at 6K flat is a play that I kind of like there too. Jonas Valanciunas, he deserves consideration. Reggie Jackson is in a really nice bounce back spot. But that 5.9K, man, that's just a little too much to pay for a guy who has not been producing as of late. Hernan Gomez is up to 5.9. Fade, no. I'm not playing that dude. Fuck that. No. Will Barton, 5.8. If Danilo Gallinari is still out, we can fire him up. Matt Barnes, 5.8. The price is too high up on him right now. I'm not fucking with it. Tim Hardaway Jr., if he gets to start for Talbot Sefolosha, he does deserve consideration at 5.7. I think we see a KCP sighting tomorrow at 5.7. He's a play that I really like there. Zach Randolph is in play for me at 5.7. Austin Rivers, the coach's son, no. Marcus Smart is going to be a no for me. Danilo Gallinari says he's out, but he could play tomorrow. We need to check up on that and make sure we're following the beat writers and staying in tune to the sites or whatever sites or on Twitter where we see most of the news come out up to the minute. Lou Williams is a no for me at 5.5. Tobias Harris deserves consideration at 5.5. Avery Bradley is going to be out for at least 4 more weeks. Remember that. Derrick Rose, no. David Lee, I like David Lee at 5.5. We can go to him tomorrow. Ersan Ilyasova is not a player that I like. Julius Randle is a no for me. Trevor Booker definitely deserves consideration at 5.4. He is a really solid rebounder. This is an up-paced matchup with the Washington Wizards and the Brooklyn Nets. Anytime I can catch him in an up-paced matchup, he is probably one of the best transition rebounders in the game. I like him. I really like Trevor Booker tomorrow. Thaddeus Young probably will not see the court tomorrow at 5.4K. Tyler Johnson is in play at 5.3. Darren Collison definitely deserves consideration. The price is so low on him at 5.3. Brandon Jennings is a no for me. Raymond Felton is a no for me. James Johnson, yes, at 5.2. I like him. Robert Covington is a no for me. Jamal Crawford, no. Terrence Jones, no. Greg Monroe is very interesting at 5K because he's going to see that matchup. If he doesn't see it up against Whiteside immediately, he's going to be up against that second team of the Miami Heat. And I really think he can have a nice game off of the bench there. Gorgie Jang at 5K interests me as a player that I'm going to be looking at. JJ Redick is a no for me. Paul Gasol is out. Derek Favors at 5K is not somebody I'm interested in. Gary Harris, man, he's a good player at 4.9. I kind of like him. And a lot of times he can become the primary ball handler. And we know what happens to Atlanta when it comes to the primary ball handling duties, man. They give it up to the primary ball handlers, most specifically point guards. Jeremy Lin is out. T.J. Warren, 4.9 is not in play for me. Tyson Chandler is not in play that I like. Tristan Thompson is somebody who I do like. I'm going to have a four-man Cleveland stack. I'm going to do that tomorrow where I like LeBron. I like Tristan Thompson. I like 7.7K for Kyrie sounds pretty good, as well as at 8.5 for Kevin Love. I like that tomorrow. Kenneth Reed, if he does play, I do not like him. Taj Gibson is in play at 4.8. Definitely. Taj is in play. Nerlens Noel is a no for me. Malcolm Brogdon is a no for me. John Lewis is in play at 4.7. Ty Lawson, yes. Now, I would much rather pay 4.7 for Ty Lawson, who may see more minutes than to pay 5.3 for the dude that hits the chicks. So I think we can rock with Ty Lawson tomorrow. Michael Carter Williams, if you don't see Jimmy Butler, you probably won't find out until 3 minutes after lock, so I won't be taking a shot on him. Sean Kilpatrick is a no for me. Norman Powell is a no for me. Jameer Nelson, now if he does get to start tomorrow, he's definitely in play. If he gets to start, he's in play at 4.4K. Kent Bazemore is dead to me. Andre Iguodala is a no for me. Robin Lopez is not somebody I'm interested in. Brandon Ingram, if he does get to start, I kind of like him. Bojan, can he have 2 good games back to back? I think so. 4.4K is not a bad price, but we've got to remember, those are pretty good wing defenders. If you're talking about Bradley Beal or Otto Porter, they are 2 really good wing defenders for the Washington Wizards, so we got to roster him with caution. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson is a no for me at 4.4. PJ Tucker, no. TJ McConnell, kind of like him at 4.4. That's very cheap to play for a starting point guard with his type of skill set. I think that TJ McConnell deserves real consideration tomorrow, being a part of our lineups. At 4.4K, I mean, what does he have to do to make value? I mean, 28 points are good, and he can definitely do that. Moutier, if he gets to start against Schroeder, I like him. If he gets to start against Schroeder, I like him way more than I like Jameer Nelson. Problem is, he probably won't. Shabazz Muhammad at 4.3 is not a play for me. Tony Allen, yes, at 4.3. I like that. Tony Parker is not a play that I'm particularly interested in. Tyreek Evans, we know that he's been injured. Josh Richardson is probably going to be out. Larry Nance at 4.2 does not interest me. The price is up on him. When he was at 3K something, Larry Nance looked good, like gold. But once I say that 4, I'm like, nah, I don't want any piece of that. Karis LeVert probably won't play tomorrow. JaMychal Green is in play at 4.2. Rajon Rondo is in play at 4.1. This game could blow out. We might see a little bit more Rajon than we have been recently. Nick Young is a no for me. Courtney Lee is a no for me. Kylo Quinn at 4.1 is not a play that I'm interested in. Jahlil Okafor is a no. Jamal Murray is a player that I kind of like at 4K. I like Jamal Murray tomorrow. Willie Reed is a no. DeMarre Carroll is a no. Marcus Chris, no. Anthony Tolliver. And we got to look at this because do we think that Anthony Tolliver sees extended minutes because Boogie is out? If you feel that way, fire him up because we like to attack Boston Celtics rebounding. So we can definitely look to him there. Kyle Korver at 4K is not a player that I'm particularly interested in. CJ Miles isn't either. Neither is LaVoy Allen. Danny Green, I like him. Dario Saric, I like Dario Saric at 4K. If we think this game gets out of hand, if we see some minutes for the young guys and some scrub love, we can definitely look to Dario Saric. Joe Ingles is a no for me. Matt Dellavedova is a no for me. Lucas Nogueira is very interesting at 3.9K. That price is still very low on him, and he can grab some minutes in this front court, this Toronto front court. So I kind of like him tomorrow. Zaza Pachulia is out. Jordan Clarkson at 3.9. That is a very cheap price for a guy that did have a solid role in the rotation, but we're not seeing that lately. So therefore, I can't roster him with any type of confidence. Ivica Zubac is a no for me. Vince Carter is a no. Garrett Temple is out. Wayne Ellington, yes, at 3.8. I like that as a cheap salary-saving play. John Henson, I like him tomorrow at 3.8. I like him. If he gets to start, I think he can start the game off really good and play well against Hassan Whiteside. I like that. Tariq Black is not in play for me. Justin Hamilton at 3.8 deserves consideration. Jaylen Brown, if he gets to start, I still don't like him. Channing Frye at 3.8 is in play for me. Rashawn Holmes is a no. Dwayne Dedman, unless he gets to start, I don't like him. Eton Moore is a no. Shelvin Mack, no. Let's go ahead. I like Kelly Olynyk at 3.7. That's a really nice price on the guy that is a part of that front court rotation. I kind of like him tomorrow. Davis Bertans, 3.7. That's a really nice GPP flyer if you think this game gets out of hand. Chris Dunn, Terrence Ross, 3.6 is in play for me. I like that. Luol Deng, he's not starting. He's letting Brandon Ingram take his spot, so I don't like him tomorrow. Costa Koufos is a really nice play, I think. At 3.6, he's going to be starting. He's going to be seeing starters minutes too. And going against the Boston Celtics, we like to attack the rebound of the basketball. They are very cheap ways to do it. It is Costa Koufos. It is Tolliver, and the last guy we're going to talk about that's probably somewhere hovering around minimum salary, Willie Cauley-Stein at 3.5. If he gets to start, I like him a lot, and a lot of people will like him tomorrow. He's probably, if he gets to start, he's going to be like the overwhelming chalk when it comes to the cheaper plays. He's going to be, I mean, in some spots, 25, 30% owned on a 12-game slate. So I do like him tomorrow. J.R. Smith is out. Sergio Rodriguez is a no for me. Patty Mills deserve consideration at 3.5. This game could get out of hand. As well as Manu Ginobili at 3.5. I kind of like him. Gerald Henderson is a very solid pro veteran guy. I think he can have a decent game in reference to the 3.5 point price point. Chris Middleton is going to be making his debut tomorrow. They say he's going to play about 15 minutes. If this dude gets back to the form he was in last year, man, we got to look out because Milwaukee can be a really dangerous team. And I'm talking about that's a big three, I think. Chris Middleton, Jabari Parker, as well as Giannis Antetokounmpo. I like that. JaVale McGee is in play at 3.4. You know that we're not going to be seeing Jaja tomorrow. Sauce at 3.4 is not a play that I really like. Darrell Arthur is a no for me. Tyus Jones is a no for me. Dinwiddie, 3.3, somebody to look at. Brandon Knight, the price is really low on him at 3.3K. We may be able to look to him playing against that Memphis second team if you need a cheap salary-saving punt option. Aaron Aflalo, same way, he's in play at 3.3. Amir Johnson is a player I like at 3.3 if he does get the start. So we've got plenty of value already on this slate. Isaiah Whitehead 3.2. We've got plenty of value already on this slate. It's going to be up to us to pay attention. Al Jefferson in the old revenge game. That would be. No, that's not him. Wrong guy. I'm sorry. Al Jefferson plays Indiana for Indiana, and he's going to be against the Cleveland Cavaliers. No, I don't like Al Jefferson tomorrow. I thought he was going to Indiana. I'm sorry about that. Malcolm Delaney at 3K. It's late. Malcolm Delaney, 3K. I don't like him. Let's go ahead and find somebody. Mike Dunleavy has been balling lately, and he's been seeing quality minutes. 3K for him. That might not be a bad place to punt and get some salary relief there. But see, this is not a lot to pay up for. So we won't have to have as much value as we've had to have recently in order to roster guys that have been paid up so highly. So not too much as I see here. Let's go ahead and pull up the logo. And speaking of logo, man, we're doing this promotion, like a giveaway, man. If you play DraftKings or FanDuel, follow me on Twitter and hit me up with your best lineup of the week. Like every day, every night this week, whatever it is. If it's a quarter game, a $100 game, $5,000 game, no matter what it is, hit me with your very best lineup. And the best ones, the two best lineups, the best lineups from FanDuel, the high score on FanDuel, and the high score on DraftKings are going to be the guys are going to win some sweatshop swag. I'm going to send you a t-shirt. It's going to be all on me, shipping and everything. You're just going to have to get in contact with me on DFS Sweatshop, Gmail. We can you let me know the address and I'll send it out to you. But what you have to do is you have to have the logo as your avatar. I have to see it on with your score. It's got to be the highest score of all the DraftKings players or FanDuel players of that week, and you have to hashtag Sweatshop Swag. So let's go ahead and jump into the point totals from tomorrow's 12-game slate. We do this because we already went over this, and now we want to see where we want to place, what games we want to place our money in. And we've got a similar situation brewing to what happened the other night. First game on the slate is going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers going to Indiana to take on the Pacers. This is a 215.5 point total. Not a bad point total at all. It's only a minus 2.5 spread in favor of the Cleveland Cavaliers. So what that's telling me is that some guys in Vegas think this game is going to be close. I like that. That automatically makes me want to think, well, how can I stack this game to my benefit? And the first thing that jumps out to me is Teague against Kyrie. Kyrie against Teague. Love against the Cleveland Cavaliers organization for trying to trade him for Carmelo. And LeBron against Dort. I like that. I even like Tristan Thompson in this game. Paul George is not a player that I'm particularly interested in, just because he just hasn't been playing very well this year. Especially LeBron James is a pretty decent defender. I just don't see myself fucking with Paul George or um, Lavoy Allen. I'm not fucking with that. I'm not fucking with Miles Turner. None of that. Those are just the guys I like in that game. The next game I'm going to talk about is also a 7 p.m. start time. It is the San Antonio Spurs going to Philadelphia to take on the 76ers. There's not yet a point total release for this game because, of course, Joel Embiid, we don't know if he's going to be playing, as well as Kawhi Leonard. He was questionable out last time, probably going to play tomorrow. But, you know, there's still a chance that Pop might sit somebody. And I know it's not a back-to-back situation where there's more likely that he does it on a back-to-back, but he's just such a weird, zany guy that you can never really trust his rotations and what he's going to do as far as starting or sitting guys. So this game is pretty much a fade for me. I don't particularly like anyone in this game, with the exception of some TJ McConnell. And that's strictly based on the price point. 4.4K, I really like him being that cheap. And let's just face it, man, the San Antonio perimeter defense, specifically against the point guard position, is not what it has been in years past. Next game I'm going to talk about is the Denver Nuggets going to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. This is a 220-point total, and it's a really nice spread, too. Denver is receiving 4 points, so Atlanta is a home favorite against the Denver Nuggets. And I got to tell you, I like to exploit both of these backcourts against each other. There's going to be a few combinations that I'm going to try to come up with to where I can, get a piece of that 220-point total. And I already told you, I love Nikola Jokic in the spot. He's at 8.7K. The price is pretty much, low on him. Didn't play a lot of minutes out last time. Coming off some rest, I think he has a really nice game out. So I like him tomorrow. Millsap, not so much. Dwight Howard is in play for me. I probably won't have too much of him, but he's definitely in play. And depending on who starts at point guard, it depends on who I like. Now, if Moutier starts, I don't like Shooter. If Nelson starts, I do like Shooter. Uh, if Nelson starts, I do like Nelson. But if Moutier starts, I do like Moutier. So whoever's starting against Dennis Schroeder on the Atlanta side, I like them. But I think that Schroeder can have his way a lot easier against Jameer Nelson than he could against Emmanuel Moutier. So next game we're gonna talk about. Also back to the Denver side, I like Wilson Chandler in this game too, and we need to make sure if we're gonna be seeing Danilo Gallinari, because that can throw a monkey wrench in the whole thing. Because if we don't see Danilo Gallinari, that means this team is almost stackable. Because you can look at Wilson Chandler, you can look at Will Barton coming off of falling 1 point shy of his career high the other night. So there's a few tasty items on the Denver side of this game. Next game I'm going to talk about is the Brooklyn Nets at home taking on the Washington Wizards. This is a 220.5 point total, with the Brooklyn Nets being the home dog. That's right there at the crib, receiving 9 points from the Washington Wizards. This game screams to me that John Wall is going to ball out, so I do trust that. A lot of people will be kind of hesitant to pay up that price for him, but I won't be at all. 10.6 is not a bad price to pay for a guy that could get you 70 DraftKings points. I like him tomorrow. I think we can look to Bradley Beal if we're not going to be sold on John Wall, but we still want a piece of the scoring aspect of this game. Also, Markieff Morris is in play as well as Otto Porter. I even think you can give some consideration to Marcin Gortat. I mean, this is a stackable offense, really. And if you believe that Brooklyn is not just some pushover squad that lets everybody blow them out, then there's definitely there's credence to rostering a couple guys on their side of the ball. If you're looking for that transition rebounding, we already talked about Trevor Booker. I kind of like him in that spot. I think we can look to whoever the starting point guard is on the Brooklyn side. John Wall expends so much energy on the offensive side of the ball that he does not play very good defense. So whoever's starting that point guard at Brooklyn, I kind of like them some too. Next game I'm going to talk about is the LA Lakers going to Detroit to take on the Pistons. This is a 217-point total, not a bad point total at all, with the Detroit Pistons giving up 7.5 points. So, of course, they are the home favorite. Now, first thing at first is the point guards in this game are probably going to cancel each other out for me, because the Lakers' minutes rotations are so weird. We rarely see 30 minutes from any guy on the team. Reggie Jackson's been playing like shit lately. I think the shooting guard is the way to attack the LA Lakers. So I think tomorrow is a KCP game. I think we have a KCP sighting, a big one tomorrow. I like him a lot tomorrow. He's going to be definitely going to be in some of my early core roster construction builds when I assemble my core four players. I definitely like him tomorrow. I think we can definitely look to Andre Drummond at 8.6. That's a fair price for a guy in this type of matchup. Julius Randle, he's still getting his bearings under him, coming off of that pneumonia. I'm not going to be on him. Maybe that's going to lead to still yet more minutes for Larry Nance Jr. coming off of the bench, but the price is up on him, so I'm not sure I want to take part in that. Tariq Black, if he gets to start, he is considerable in play just because he's so cheap. I do like on the Detroit side. I think we can look at Tobias Harris and or Marcus Morris. I think those guys are in pretty decent spots. So there's lots to like on the Detroit side of the ball. Next game I'm going to talk about is the Phoenix Suns going to Memphis, to the Grindhouse, to take on the Memphis Grizzlies. This is a 210-point total with the Memphis Grizzlies giving up 10 points to the Phoenix Suns. I don't like Bledsoe in this game. I don't like Booker in this game. I don't like Warren in this game. I really don't like too much off of the Phoenix side altogether. I think the only guy that I may be able to roster is going to be Tyson Chandler, just because he's so active on the boards and he's a big physical presence. I think that he can do what he normally does to make value, which is get a ton of rebounds and maybe score 10 points. That's what I'm looking for when I roster Tyson Chandler on tomorrow's slate. On the Memphis side, Mike Conley jumps off of the page for me just because the Phoenix Suns are so bad against the point guard position. The only thing that does give me pause is that this is not the type of point guard that the offense rolls through or flows through. The offense more or less flows through Marc Gasol. So when I look at him and the matchup he has against Tyson Chandler, that kind of makes me not want to roster this game altogether. Just straight up fade this game. But I'm going to have a piece of it somewhere. Excuse me. The next game I'm going to talk about is going to be the Miami Heat going to Milwaukee, take on the Bucks. It's a 210-point total, not a huge point total, but not horrible. Milwaukee Bucks are the home favorite. They're giving up 3.5 to the Miami Heat. Uh, you know, earlier I said I didn't like Giannis very much, but man, him being at home, there's just points where you got to take advantage of a guy playing well at his home stadium, and I think tomorrow can be one of those days. Now, am I going to be investing a lot in him from lineup to lineup? No, but I can tell you I will not be fading um, Giannis tomorrow, and because I like Giannis, I automatically like Jabari Parker, and I think also we can give some consideration to Henson if he's starting, and Greg Monroe. On the Miami side, I don't like Goran Dragic very much in this game. The only guy that I kind of feel like I can roster with confidence is going to be Whiteside. I like Whiteside and maybe some James Johnson. So only two players I kind of like on the Miami Heat side. Next game I'm going to talk about is the Toronto Raptors going to Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves. This is a 212-point total with Toronto Raptors giving up 3.5. So the Minnesota Timberwolves are a home dog. For that reason, I love Karl-Anthony Towns tomorrow. I think he's in a really nice spot. I like Andrew Wiggins. I like the spot that he is in. I even think you can give some consideration to Rick Rubio. But if I had to roster a point guard from this game, it would be Kyle Lowry. I do not like DeMar DeRozan very much tomorrow. I think that we can look to Jonas Valanciunas, or maybe even if you wanted to punt the center position altogether, you can look to Lucas Nogueira in the situation. So we've got to stay tuned and find those values as they come up throughout the day. The next game I'm going to talk about, Utah Jazz going to the New Orleans Pelicans. This is a 202.5 point total. Very low point total. Actually, the lowest point total on the slate. And for that reason, a lot of people are not going to want to invest in this game. But I think on the Utah side, you've got to look to Gordon Hayward. Dude's been shooting lights out lately, playing very good basketball. Kind of was in a slump for a while, has shot himself out of that. And I think that continues tomorrow against the New Orleans Pelicans. So I do like Gordon Hayward tomorrow. I think that we can also look to Drew Holiday on the other side of the ball. Anthony Davis is not a player that I'm gonna, roster a lot, but I think he definitely deserves some consideration. Anytime AD is under 10K, man, he's somebody who you should definitely take a long and strong look at. Terrence Jones, no, not a play for me. Rudy Gobert, you know what? Rudy Gobert, they give it up to centers. The New Orleans Hornets give it up to centers. And I think the last time they played, he didn't have a very good game. So I'm going to have to go back and look at that. but they do give it up to center. So definitely, Rudy Gobert is in play for me. Next game we're talking about is the LA Clippers going to New York to MSG to take on my New York Knicks. It is a 219-point total with the Clippers giving up 2 points. That's right, the New York Knicks are a home dog. That makes me like Carmelo Anthony tomorrow. I think he has a really solid game and a bounce back from the last one. Also, we can look to on the Clippers side. We can look to Blake Griffin as well. I think these are two guys who are gonna leave a really big mark on this game. I kind of like both of those guys already. Kristaps Porzingis is in play for me as well. Not too much else I like on the New York Knicks side, and it's just so hard to guess the Clippers rotations at this point. I need Chris Paul to come back. Chris Paul makes things so much clearer for me when he's on the slate, because either I'm rostering him and whoever I think is going to be good with him, or I'm not going to go that direction. And most of the time, I do go in the direction of Chris Paul. They play later games. He's always a late night hammer for you. We need to have Chris Paul come back. 6 to 8 weeks. Hurry the fuck up. Don't like Hernan Gomez. The price is up on him. Can't trust Kyle O'Quinn's minutes. Don't know what's going to happen when it comes to Joakim Noah. So this is a game that unless I'm taking Melo or Melo, Porzingis, or Blake, I'm probably not going to be fucking with this game too tough. Next game I'm going to talk about is the Chicago Bulls going to Golden State to take on the Warriors. There's not yet a point total released for this game because we know that Jimmy Butler was dealing with that heel injury that kept him out and had him as a late scratch after lineups locks the other night. People are still shitting about that. Golden State are going to take the center off the floor. They're going to take the big off the floor. And they're going to take Robin Lopez off the floor. So I don't like him. So I like Taj Gibson. I think he can be a decent play. Dwayne Wade will want to get up for this game, especially if Butler's not playing. Dwayne Wade probably will want to get up for this game, and I like that too. Also, on the Golden State side, we talked about Klay Thompson already. I think he can be a really solid play. I like Kevin Durant at his price point. Anytime you can get a stud like that under 9K at home, I think you've got to give him a shot. Curry, the price is up too much. I think I'm going to wait and see and take that wait and see approach. Because if he starts to do what he does last year, it's not going to just be one game. It's going to last for a stretch. And I'm going to get a piece of it at some point. Just not tomorrow. The last game on the slate is going to be the Boston Celtics going to Sacramento to take on the Kings. There's not yet a point total release for this game at all because we know we're dealing with the Avery Bradley injury. We're also dealing with the fact that Boogie Cousins was suspended for this game, so there's no point total for this game yet. Game Flow predicts that the Boston Celtics is going to be shooting a lot. It's going to be up in pace. Because the pace is usually dictated by the best player on the floor. Tomorrow, there's no doubt in my mind that is going to be Isaiah Thomas, and for that reason, he is definitely in play for me. We look at the Sacramento point guards or Sacramento backcourt trying to play some catch up. Who do you want to go to? I say go to Ty Lawson. He's cheaper than Derek Collison. Plus, Derek Collison hits the chicks. So let's go with the guy who does not hit the chicks that we know of, and that's going to be Ty Lawson. I like him tomorrow. Willie Cauley-Stein, we already talked about him. Is going to be a really, really chalky guy. Maybe some Matt Barnes is going to be a chalky guy. I'm going to be fading that chalk. I think that chalk is bad chalk. Also, you may see a lot of Costa Coopers tomorrow with guys trying to fit in, your LeBron, your Kyrie, maybe some Giannis, people like that. So, Boston side, we talked about Isaiah Thomas, man, fire him up. I think we can look to Jay Crowder's game. I like him and what he brings to the table as far as being able to rebound and defend that wing position. So I kind of like him tomorrow. I think he's going to be a really solid play. The price is up a little bit. I believe about 6.4. But he doesn't have to do much to return value. 36 points, you're good. I kind of like him tomorrow. Al Horford is in play, definitely. Whenever you take Boogie off of the court like that and you're matching up a second-string defender or third-string defender up against first-string offensive talent in a guy like Al Horford, I think that can bode well for him. So, this has been your DFS Jerusalem breaking down tomorrow's 12-game slate. Thank you so much, man, for all the support. I know every show I say things like this, and I only say it because I mean it so much from the very bottom of my heart, man. You guys have changed my life, and I'm so appreciative of what's going on, man. I saw they had some, podcast awards or some shit going on. We're giving out these podcast awards and, journalism and blah, blah, awards, and it's like, bruh, the sweatshop fucking taking over, right? Hottest show on YouTube, most trusted and liked DFS family online. It's all your fault. You all did this. If you want to take it to the next level, there is quite a few ways for you to support the show, right? Number one, Understand you are supporting the show in its purest form by giving me your views, your likes, your comments, your shares, your hate, your love. And there's always that one motherfucker who clicking the unlike button with his old snowflake ass. Wherever you at, if you watching this, use a motherfucking snowflake with your snowflake ass or disliking ass, snowflake ass motherfucker. Now, there's different ways to support the show. What you can do is click that button over there, man. It says support the show. Click it, let it ride, and let it take you where it has to take you. Also, you can go ahead and visit our website at www.dfssweatshop.com. There, you will receive all of our tools and tutelage to make you a daily fantasy profitable player. That's what we want to do. We want to make you a profitable daily fantasy sports player. Also, you can go ahead and copy some DFS Sweatshop swag. Now, in the bottom of this video, the link in the bottom here, you're going to see a link that's going to take you to where you can cop some DFS Sweatshop swag, man. We've got an array, an assortment of styles for you. We've got the ladies' t-shirts, we've got the men's t-shirts, we've got the hooded long sleeve shirts, we got the hoodies, we've got anything you want, anything you want. So go check that out, and that is definitely a good way to support the show. It will go on improvements to not only the show but the website as well. And if you want to hit me up on my personal PayPal, that's always welcome too. It is SimmonsMaurice95 at yahoo.com. You are more than welcome to do that. This has been your DFS Jerusalem. Thank you so much. Let's have a wonderful and profitable Wednesday. The number one thing I want you to do when you're in the sweatshop is keep it 300.